Welcome to the Explainer. So I'm super thrilled to have you here today because we're tackling something that, let's be real, practically every single one of us grapples with on a daily basis. We're looking at exactly how to take back control of our digital habits and basically escape the screen trap. If you've ever felt like your devices are, managing you instead of the other way around, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the actual science of digital distraction and look at the specific tools designed to engineer your environment for deep focus. Okay, let's dive into this. Consider this question for a second. Are you interacting with your phone 3,000 times a day? Seriously, think about it. Because according to recent data on digital habits, by 2026, the average person is expected to do exactly that. 3,000 micro-interactions. Every single buzz, chirp, and banner is a calculated attempt to pull you away from your actual, real life. Does that number make you feel slightly overwhelmed? Yeah, me too. But hey, if it does, you are definitely not alone.
All right, let's move into Section 1, Signs of Screen Addiction.
But before we can fix the problem, we need to do a little diagnostic check. I want you to just honestly self-diagnose for a second here. The symptoms of spending way too much time online, well, they aren't just feeling a bit distracted. We're talking about real, physical, and behavioral manifestations. Are you experiencing ongoing headaches or eye strain? How about sleep disturbance? Or maybe physical pain in your neck, back, or hands from hunching over? And what about the behavioral side of things? Are you constantly checking your device while trying to complete other tasks, or maybe even withdrawing from offline friends? If you're noticing a decline in your performance at work or university, these are major red flags of digital overuse. This is what screen addiction actually looks like in practice, folks.
Which brings us to Section 2, Your Brain on Notifications.
Now, if you felt a little pang of recognition at those symptoms, don't beat yourself up. Seriously, there's a deeply scientific reason why our apps hijack our attention so easily. So the crucial point is 23 minutes and 15 seconds. That right there is the average amount of time it takes your brain to fully refocus after a single micro-interruption. And that's according to research from the University of California, Irvine. Just think about that. If you get a notification even just every 10 minutes, you're effectively living in a perpetual state of cognitive recovery. You literally never reach a state of deep focus.
And the reason we can't just ignore that ping is because of the dopamine loop. See, we aren't just easily distracted. Our phones are literally operating like addictive slot machines in our pockets. The sound of a like or a text message creates this tiny little hit of pleasure, which is then followed by a craving for more. And this cycle of intermittent reinforcement just completely erodes our ability to concentrate on cognitively demanding tasks. Which actually brings us to the most important realization of this entire explainer. Reclaiming your focus isn't just about willpower. It's about engineering your digital environment. Look, relying on willpower alone to fight against multi-billion-dollar attention algorithms, that is pretty much guaranteed to fail. We simply have to use smart tools to, stack the deck in our favor.
All right, on to Section 3, Gentle Tools for Awareness.
Let's start exploring some of those tools. If you suffer from that autopilot scroll symptom we talked about earlier, look at how an app like OneSec intercepts that exact behavior. Instead of just blocking the app outright, it inserts a mindful, friction-based pause. So you tap Instagram, and instead of the feed instantly popping up, you get a quick breathing exercise. It totally forces you to pause and reconsider if you actually, truly want to open the app, breaking that immediate, impulsive dopamine craving we just discussed.
Another really cool, gentle approach is gamification. Tools like Forest and Auto turn focus into a genuinely rewarding game. So rather than punishing you for slipping up, they give you these positive visual mechanics. Like with Forest, you grow a virtual tree while you focus, and if you leave the app, the tree dies. Sad, right? And with Auto, you actually build a bond with a cute digital creature using Pomodoro intervals. It's just a fantastic way of making focused work feel, rewarding instead of like a chore.
Moving right along to Section 4, Habit and Study Blockers.
But what if gentle awareness just isn't cutting it? Taking a completely different approach, an app called Habit Doom brilliantly flips the script entirely. Distracting apps are locked by default here. There's no timer to remember to start or anything like that. To actually unlock your apps, you have to complete your daily habits or your homework first. They even use on-device anti-cheat AI photo verification, which means no, you literally cannot fake doing your homework. You have to actively earn your screen time. Now, let's contrast that and see how this builds for users who might need more visual scaffolding, particularly students with ADHD. So while basic friction apps create a pause, visual planning apps like Timo step in to provide these awesome pictogram-based time blocks. Folks with ADHD often struggle less with the actual willpower to not open an app and more with knowing exactly what they should be doing right at that given moment. So pairing a strong visual planner with a hard blocker, honestly, that is an incredibly effective system.
And for those super intense late-night exam prep sessions where you might just instinctively, delete a blocking app in a moment of weakness, adding physical friction is key. Apps like Detach actually require a physical card to end a study session. It makes breaking your own study rules highly intentional rather than just an accidental mindless slip of the thumb.
Which brings us to our final tier in Section 5, strict system-level blockers.
Look, if you're experiencing the most severe signs of screen addiction, we're talking that serious physical pain or completely withdrawing from your offline life, we need unbreakable systems. We have to draw a hard line between simple browser extensions and system-level blockers. Extensions like Stay Focused or Leech Block are great, sure, but they only work in a single browser. The second your willpower vanishes, they are incredibly easy to bypass or just uninstall. System-level blockers, however, go to work across your entire operating system.
Now, what's really interesting about these system-level tools is just how extreme the protections get to save us from ourselves. Software like Cold Turkey offers the absolute strictest desktop solutions out there. It doesn't just block websites, it blocks entire desktop applications. It prevents you from changing the system time to cheat, it blocks the task manager. It even has this crazy frozen turkey mode that literally locks you out of your computer entirely. When they say unbypassable, they absolutely mean it.
So looking at this breakdown helps you map your specific struggle to the exact right software tier. If you need adaptive locks and cross-browser enforcement, Digital Zen is incredibly strong. If you need that unbreakable, completely locked-down desktop focus, Cold Turkey is your go-to, hands down. But let's say your phone is the main culprit, and you really need your sessions to sync across all your devices simultaneously. Freedom has you covered across iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows. It's all about finding the exact perfect fit for your specific failure mode.
And for the ultimate, absolute peak of environment design, you can combine those blockers with a network-level defense. By using a DNS filtering service right on your home router, you block whole categories of distracting sites at the network level. You can filter out specific addictive URLs, like YouTube Shorts, for instance, enforce safe search, and totally disable incognito mode. It basically creates an environment where distraction is physically blocked before it even has a chance to reach your screen. Game changer, right?
So to summarize our entire journey today, protecting your mind and avoiding those severe symptoms of screen addiction is all about stacking the deck in your favor before things go south. Willpower is a very limited resource, guys. At the end of the day, the best website blocker is simply the one you cannot easily bypass when your motivation inevitably drops.
So I want to leave you with this challenge. Think back to those signs of screen addiction we talked about earlier. The headaches, the constant gnawing distraction. Which level of friction are you going to implement today to take your focus back? Are you going to start gentle with a quick breathing pause? Or are you ready to go nuclear with a system-level lock? Whatever you do, don't just wait around for your screen time to magically drop on its own. Choose a tool, protect your focus, and start engineering your environment right now. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you on the next Explainer.